Real quickly before I jump into the video, this month I'm participating in the G Fuel Code Madness competition, a spin-off of March Madness where there's a chance to make an espresso shaker cup a real thing. For now, until I'm eliminated, my code espresso is 30% off the entire site and 20% off on cans. Whether it's big or small, every code usage helps to keep that fight going towards that end goal of getting my own shaker cup. You absolutely do not have to, it's totally up to you, but if you want to support the chase for the first branded merchandise here on the channel, the link's in the description below. Truly appreciate the support if you take part, but anyways, let's get into the content. Another Monday, and that means we're jumping headfirst into the week ahead here. While you may already be longing for Friday, and the week ahead may be either a drag or full of mystery in just about every aspect of life, COD's actually kind of an open book this week. So today I want to let you know what you can look out for and whether or not that's a standard week or a big week like many want to believe it to be. We'll take you through everything you can expect to see in those next 7 days. So with that said, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you want to see here out of Modern Warfare in the next 7 days? And also, if you're new to the channel, maybe considering that subscribe button if you are new, especially if there are some major updates in the near future here for the world of COD. We'll keep you up to date with all of it. But anyways, let's talk about it. The normal stuff here first. We know a bit about the week at hand. So firstly, tomorrow we'll see a removal of some current playlists. As always, we see these modes on a 1 week limited time rotation. So I'd imagine that we end up seeing the Gunfight 3v3 snipers only going away, Dirty Old Houseboat being likely removed and replaced with something of another 24/7 map, whether that be Rust, Shipment, or Shoot House, maybe a combination of them, and then Giant Infection as well going away, more than likely. But with the playlist update, we actually got a little bit of information on this from the Activision's Games blog, in which we know about 1v1 Me Bro, which is on Rust, and Gunfight Trios. Now, 1v1 Me Bro is one that we saw at the very beginning of the season. It's coming back, but with a slight alteration here to it. There's now constant radar pings for this. So that means that you'll be able to know where players are in about a couple second intervals to kind of keep that pacing going in a 1v1 situation. While I didn't play it all that much, I did see a bunch of comments over on the socials of Reddit, Twitter, and such, where players mentioned that it was just way too slow because players would camp or turtle in a corner. So to be able to know where that enemy is or the general vicinity, it should keep the games going along at a relatively frequent pace. Gunfight Trios, though, is kind of just what it sounds like. You're going to be able to play Gunfight, but with 3 players, and even on the new map of Bazaar. I saw some mention that players weren't really getting this at the beginning of last week, whenever it was first introduced, so maybe that was a bug, but should be introduced. It was mentioned explicitly by the games blog as well. Now, to me, the two variables are Gunfight tournaments and Boots on the Ground War. Both of these are kind of subtle variations, of course, of Gunfight, which is a staple, and also Ground War, which is a staple. We saw realism being played around with in Ground War for a little bit, and Boots on the Ground War continues that, so it may very well go on and give us another week here of this. And same thing with the Gunfight tournaments. I really don't know about this one because we thought at the very beginning it was introduced for the second time here, the current tournament system with the same rewards of the MP7. That was introduced on a Friday, so based off the first introduction of the tournaments, we thought maybe it would last again another 4 days, but it's now been a week after that, so we're coming up on the 11-day mark as of tomorrow, so it's kind of already living on borrowed time if you ask me. So maybe it goes away, but there also hasn't been anything explicitly that states that it will be going away or anything to indicate that it will. So maybe just play if you haven't gotten the MP7 variant for winning the tournament if you want to go for it just in case, but we'll have to wait and see how all that breaks down as of tomorrow. Now, of course, the final thing that we can talk about that is a staple that we know of is that shop refresh. We do know, of course, a little bit about this as well from the blog post that went live over on Activision's website earlier today also, in which they said there are new bundles coming, but Mace is actually staying. For those of you guys that haven't gotten him just yet, he's that sort of now pinned and featured item, probably going to be lasting for another week here after this as well. We saw, if I'm not mistaken, 3 introduced last week, so with him being that outlier of the 5th, he could last theoretically another week before being pushed out of the wayside, but Mace is staying. But the things like the Anime Tracer pack, if you haven't gotten that already, it should be getting pushed back into the regular rotation of things in the shop as of tomorrow. It'll still come up intermittently, but it just won't be pinned there as a featured bundle. But all right, that's the stuff that we have here, and we have that every single week. What's different here out of this? Well, if you guys have been paying attention to anywhere you may be following COD socials on, Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, either here on the channel or the official Call of Duty accounts, that's where you might start to see some discussion about the Warzone game mode that is, again, the worst kept secret here. We have seen so much progression throughout the last couple of months in the game files, in things that have been leaked, and so people are now coming to this, well, when are we finally going to be getting it? There's a lot of discussion about something coming as of the 3rd, which, if you look at your calendars, is tomorrow, and that is something that has apparently, what people want to say, a lot of things pointing to that. Personally, I think it's all just in-game coincidence. I don't think there's really anything that has been updated explicitly to showcase this, but that's the theory. Personally, I don't think tomorrow is going to be that big Magic Day because it's something that we have never seen Activision do if that's the case. We've seen absolutely no promotion officially yet for this, and I'm almost certain they wouldn't just drop it out of nowhere. Call of Duty doesn't normally put out any major game edition, and something as big as this potentially, if it does in fact come, it would be absolutely massive. So to have zero information out there and for it to just come with the flick of a switch, I don't know. What we might see is some stuff that promos into this. Maybe we see a little bit tomorrow how we have maybe another classified tile on that main menu update. Last week we saw that it went from just the scrambled message of classified to also then having some digital display in the background and also with the message underneath it of transmission incoming. Maybe we see something that goes along with that. Maybe there's an audio cue that comes along with it. Maybe there's something that gives us a little bit more in terms of details to progressively go towards that, but I don't think we're going to see it drop as of tomorrow. Now, outside of something in-game, would I expect something maybe this week to come along with that? Perhaps. One thing that is especially worth talking about, I think, is that the official Call of Duty Modern Warfare playlist on the official Call of Duty account, as of recently, had 2 videos that were set to private. This is something that if you want to ever take a look at things that may be coming in the future, if you take a look at whatever playlist it is in, it will showcase an amount of videos, but even if there's something not visible to the public, there will be something that's private. Usually for those types of playlists as well, they will only be things that are official. They're not going to be just some random post that Call of Duty uploaded and doesn't have anything to do with it, like a cat video they wanted to show somebody at the office. It's not like that sort of thing. It will be something officially tied to whatever playlist it's in. So to have 2 videos privated in Season 2 is of course curious, but what makes it even more curious is the fact that both of those have since been removed. So players and avid fans can't check up on it. So just a bit suspicious there if you ask me, but also something that was kind of suspicious is the blog post for this week talking about Modern Warfare. It was eerily empty. I'm talking the blog post that we've referenced here in this video literally only talked about Mace, 1v1 me bro, and also 3v3 gunfights. That's it for the current game, the game out there right now. There was more said about Call of Duty Mobile, and even maybe more so said about Black Ops 4 in that blog post. This is the first time that's really ever happened, and so why would there be anything withheld? Why would there not be that much going on unless we may be building to something? Maybe there is something that comes out later in the week, some blog post, something that previews maybe the final drop here of this classified tab and whatever is fully behind it, but that said, we just don't know. End of the day, though, I'm just not really expecting a launch this week. I'd be more than happy to be wrong with that, but it just feels off. It kind of feels like it's a little too quiet. The calm before the storm, but not actually at the edge of the storm where we're gonna get hit with it. You know what I mean? I think we're close. I mean, we've gotten a ton of things in the last couple of months that just progressively build up to this. We had the leaks months ago that gave us our first little even idea and notion this was going to be a thing. We've seen the progressive game file updates that showcase more and more items on the back end in the game, but just not live and playable for the public. We've seen from months ago, even the entire map was leaked in something that we saw. There were a bunch of things already set up in the assets for all that, perks, loot, weaponry, stuff like that. It's all been in there. We had a movie for the Season 2 intro sequence showcased just about everything you expect to see in a BR, that being a large open world, that being players jumping out of a C-130, that being a gas ring around the horizon of the map. We've had players shortly thereafter, that one glitching into lobbies and training areas. We've had the classified main menu tab update a few times now, and hell, we've even seen updated mechanics in the way of Spec Ops that showcases a new feature of free look and the ability to cut your shoot mechanic that we haven't seen up until this point. It was added with the most recent title update. And all of this, not even just that, but everything beforehand has been under the radar without any proper acknowledgement. So I think we're close. I really do, but I just don't know if this is going to be the week. So again, I'd love to be wrong. I'd absolutely love for it to be this week. I just don't know if I'm going to put all of my chips in on this bet. So we'll see how the week turns out. Again, absolutely happy to be wrong, but to me, it just feels like another kind of week following an update week as of last week. Nothing really super incredible, but maybe we see the peaks and valleys of interests and updates here come to a super high peak maybe in the near future. But for now, that's where we're going to wrap it up. So I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments section down below. What do you guys think here of this? Do you think it is going to be something that all these tinfoil hat conspiracy theories about 3/3 tomorrow being the magic date to unlock the classified tab, do you think that's actually going to be the case, or do you not necessarily necessarily think so. Do you think that, from at least my perspective, it makes sense where to drop something like that, it's kind of uncharacteristic for Activision? I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there on all of that. So whatever you have to say, feel free to let me know your thoughts, but hopefully enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare, updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. We got you covered here on the channel. So if any of that interests you, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on both those. If you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But let's get out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. My name has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.